James Melendez. This wine is next from the producer Donnafugata from Sicilia. Now this wine is Etna Rosso. It is from a specific site called Contrada Montelaguardia 2016 vintage. Stay tuned and I'll tell you more about this wine. Lovely, elegant, beautiful. This wine is something I really look forward to enjoying. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful Etna Rosso and also Etna Bianco wines. Now, in my cellar, I was looking, how many Etna wines do I have? I have very few. And the reason I call that out is specifically, I think that Etna Bianco and Etna Rosso, of course, are going to age superbly well. So I will talk about aged wines in a future video. I think it's really important to talk about it. I think there's misconceptions. I think there's some panic as how people store their wines or sell their wines. But I definitely love aged wines, and I think this wine in particular is going to age very nicely, and that's why I bring up the subject matter to begin with. So hopefully I will get another bottle and just put it in my cellar and just let it go for a long time. Now, to me, this is a superb wine, very sophisticated wine, and elegance and gorgeousness that comes from this wine, which is 100% Nero Mascalese, 14.5% ABV wine. Now, the suggested retail on this is $85. So when you look at Etna Rosso, especially for, these wines are very special, and you look at producer by producer, they're not producing cases of wine, they're producing bottles of wine. And that's a very big difference in, I'd say, mindset between, say, new world and old world. And so think about, Etna is actually a very large site, but it's not all for planted vines. And you can't plant vines on every single segment of the volcano itself, only within certain segments and bands. So this is high elevation. You're about 2,000 feet above sea level for this particular vineyard site, the Contrada Montelaguardia. Now, this is a really gorgeous wine. The vinification on this is stainless steel. You're having this in 10 to 12 days of maceration. A really nice coloration. It's not overly done where it's so dark and inky. You could have left it probably longer in maceration, but instead I think that's a really nice touch to it. In my opinion, I definitely taste a little more, say, skin on many varieties, not all, when they have a long maceration. Now, a beautiful coloration, cathedral stained glass window is what I like to term this particular beautiful coloration of this wine here. Now, the aging on this wine is in French barrique, 2 to 3 passages. Additional to that is 10 months in bottle, and I think it really comes out to be such a sophisticated, gorgeous wine, and lovely for aging, but also enjoying with food right now to enjoy with a very special meal for your family. So the price point is really going to indicate, in my opinion, how you're going to taste this wine, how you're going to serve this wine. Serve this with fish, serve this with salumi and cheeses, but definitely serve this with food. Can it be served on its own? Yes, of course. But I think it's really, in my opinion, going to be really optimized with that food wine experience. So first of all, the point score, 95 points out of 100 points. And I think the aging on this is really remarkable. It's going to be aged very, very nicely. I love to lay this down for at least 15 years, 20 years, if not longer, to see how this wine's going to taste. It tastes beautifully right now. So the scent characterization on this wine is what I term bright, tart red cherry, a bit of underbrush notes, suede notes, also dried rose petal. Next, the palate characterization. Beautiful integration of red fruit. Again, that red cherry note comes through very nicely. I love the tartness to it, but it's not overly so. A bit of spice note on this, white pepper note, and ground clove, ground nutmeg, a bit of cardamom spice as well, and balsamico on the finish. So it's integrated in terms of those beautiful fruit notes, not overly done, but also really cascading to some spice notes and floral component as well. So violet note is really evident here as well. 95 points out of 100 points. More information on the producer down below. Questions and comments can be listed there. Like button's there, so please hit that button. Right up here is the subscribe button. One thing I didn't show you earlier was a beautiful label. I think Donnafugata's labeling art is absolutely fantastic and evocative, and really, to me, it sings a story of Sicilia, and the back label, of course. Absolutely gorgeous wine where I think it's completely sophisticated and just a beautiful packaging, beautiful wine altogether. And what I like to do with wines is I like to serve one now, and I like to put one in my cellar to age for a considerable amount of time. And thank you for watching. Let's stay connected. I'm on a variety of social media such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and WordPress. Stay tuned for more. Salute.